Oh, right now?
All right. Hey, Bombers. I'm here with our principal, Mr. Prano. We're here at the graduation for the class of 2019. Mr. Prano, any pre-game thoughts?
Oh, I'm so excited to watch this class come across the stage. We have 406 graduates tonight. That's 95% of
my mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all.
In scholarship money, so I'm extremely excited about tonight.
That's awesome, sweet. Well, stay tuned for the senior slideshow and then the graduation after that. Hope you have a good time.
Go Bombers!
Go Bombers!
All right, buddy, nice work.
Thank you.
Brother. Let's go. Oh, he wants a picture. He wants a picture of us. Hug him.
Mama call, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I wouldn't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. That was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I had it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bags, yeah. But they didn't know me last year, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I saw my door, yeah. Everyone counting on me, drop the ball, yeah. Everything custom like I'm at the bottom, yeah, yeah. If you winning, put your lighters to the sky. How could I make sense when I got millions on my mind? Coming with it, I just put it to the side. Bought a sense of baby, they could see it in my eyes. My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I wouldn't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
I was patient, yeah. Oh, I was patient. Now I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say congratulations. Young graduation. I pick up the rock and I ball, baby. I'm looking for someone to call, baby. But right now I got a situation. Never old Ben Franklin. Big rings, champagne. My life is like a ball game, but instead I'm in a trap though. Pot so big, call it Super Bowl. Super Bowl, caught up, get in the rolls. Top flow lifestyle, Huncho and Post, Malone. I got a play on my phone. You know what I'm on. Huncho Houdini is gone.
My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I wouldn't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
And tonight is my appraisal, 'cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna honeysuckle phonies. Then they celebrate my medals or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Oh, are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest. In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up aces, aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it, I made it. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it, I made it. I see it, I want it, I take it, take it. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Mama, best believe it. Mama, best believe it. Think I must be dreaming, but awake and dreaming. Mama, best believe it. Mama, best believe it. Think I must be dreaming. Hey, look, ma, I made it.
Know that I've been waiting for so long. You're all that I see. I can't stop this feeling, no, no, it's taking over me. Feel the mercury rising. I feel your bassline bumping. Hear it in your rhythm. You got my heartbeat pumping. I can't stop it. No, I can't control it. Can you feel it overloading? Overloading. Yeah, you can't stop it. No, you can't control it. Can you feel it overloading? Overloading. Yeah. Know that I've been waiting for so long. You're all that I see. I can't stop this feeling, no, no, it's taking over me. Feel the mercury rising. I feel your bassline bumping. Hear it in your rhythm. You got my heartbeat pumping. I can't stop it. No,
Loved ones couldn't make it tonight, they can watch the entire ceremony on Atomic TV through YouTube. Go to YouTube, Atomic TV. This is a joint effort between Richland High School and Hanford High School Broadcast. So again, Atomic TV on YouTube if they couldn't be here tonight. Thank you.
So they have a. I want to make sure. I just want to make sure if he's doing any intros. I'm on stage or off. I don't want to announce me. I'm not on there.
Welcome to the 2019 Richland High School graduation. I'm the senior class president, Kyle Prigge, and to my left is Ashley Nelson, Megan Krause, Carly Ogburn, and Megan Fisher. Please join me in a moment of silence for Caden Dirks, who passed away during our junior year. Now will you please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the flag on the stage as the Richland Senior Choir sings the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, you may be seated. Hey, all right. All right. So I'd like to introduce our first valedictorian speaker today, Brian Fang.
Welcome to graduation, everyone. My name is Brian Fang, and to my left are the Richland High Valedictorians. We all know that they're incredible overachievers and that they've done so much throughout their high school career, but they've all made mistakes in their past. And so tonight, they'd like to share some of their greatest failures with you all. Many will be lighthearted, others will be more serious, but they're all genuine and incredibly well told. So please, enjoy these heartfelt failure stories. And to start us off, I'd like to introduce Lindsay Rosenthal.
Thanks, Brian. The ball flies off the court. The crowd erupts in a deafening roar. As my body falls limp and my eyes glance around the room, a realization sets in that the sea of green and gold behind me are not who is cheering. The rush of emotions that overtake my body is nearly unbearable. Hello, my name is Lindsay Rosenthal, and on November 17th, 2018, I lost a volleyball game. This wasn't just any game. It was the culmination of many practices, days, and years I'd spent with the Bomber volleyball team. This loss happened to be the state championship. When I was prompted to speak today about my biggest failure, this disappointing day immediately came to mind. a feeling of climbing a mountain for years only to fall steps from the summit. I myself am not a big hiker. My treks usually are limited to the infamous Badger Mountain. But one thing I can tell you about hiking up Badger is that the moments at the top are brief. The part that is the most memorable is the time spent hiking up to the top, the journey. This is where you grow. Through conversations with good company or just purely for the workout, I've realized that the climb is the most important part. This concept is the same for graduation. As we all sit here this evening, we are at the top of the mountain. A brief moment to take in and enjoy the view. Sorry, my other paper's not here. But brief is exactly what it is. It's the climb consisting of late night studying, Friday football games, spun nets in our homeroom, and endless laughter with our best friends is what we ultimately remember for the rest of our lives. It is the journey and the failures all along the way that have brought us together. I lost a state championship, and one of the few things I remember from that day is the pure joy and emotion of being able to experience such a moment. Those same smiles were the ones I enjoyed for the past 4 years during my climb as a Bomber volleyball player. Unforgettable. The strength we gained through our trek of hard work and love for the girls in that team made the journey more incredible and conversely more painful to let go of in the end. As time has passed, that game has receded from memory, and instead what remains is the long bus rides, team dinners, and sleepovers I was lucky enough to share with these girls. Losing the state championship and experiencing that adversity caused me to see the hidden beauty in the journey, much like our time here at Richland. As we move on from our climb as a Bomber and on to the next mountain, it's important to embrace the failures along the way, for these are what truly make the journey worth it. And as my sister did during her valedictorian speech, I like to take a quick selfie with all of you guys. It was good. Thank you guys so much. And next, I'd like to introduce my good friends, Mansi Patel.
Okay, thanks, Lindsay. So the topic at hand is failures, and unlike my makeup skills, I fail at a lot of things. For example, I didn't get the memo for the speech until like 3 nights ago, but that's fine. I'll just add it onto the ongoing list. Anyway, failures is something I think everyone can agree we all share, and I would rather not stand up here and publicly embarrass myself further, so I'm going to reminisce on all the failures that I'm sure many of you have also experienced. That way, at least we can be embarrassed as a whole class of 2019 rather than just me. Now, I'm talking about those little failures, little embarrassing moments we all experience, like when you wave back to someone who is clearly not waving at you to begin with, or on the other hand, when someone was waving at you, but you thought that they weren't, so then you ignored them. Yeah, awkward moments like that. Little things that at the time turned your cheeks red and you felt like you wanted to die, you know? Or other failures like watching Sheetal park insanely bad next to you, or honestly just watching her drive. Trust me, it's worse being in the car with her than seeing it from the outside. No wonder she failed her driver's test like 7 times. These little embarrassing moments that last for not even 0.5 seconds make you want to shrivel up and die, but it's not what defines your high school life. When 10 years down the road you look back at high school, what you're going to remember is watching the sunset at Top, skipping class for roasters, the 4 for 4 at Wendy's, and the $5 lunches at DQ, which, by the way, were lifesavers. Friday night football games and singing your heart out to fireworks in Geronimo, bonfires, and every little happy experience that shaped you into who you are today. You're definitely not going to sit down 10 years from now and think of everything you failed at in high school. If you do, that's kind of sad. Nor are you going to remember the speech, and that is completely fine. What I hope you do remember is what it meant to be a Bomber and the pride that came with it. All of the amazing experiences you got to share with everyone around you, even if half of the people around you are kind of fake. Because you're never going to be younger than you are now, and there's another journey waiting for you after this. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Bailey Carr.
Thanks, Monsi. So when we got our speech topic of our biggest failure, I immediately thought of an inspirational running story of me falling at state, not at state, I didn't make it to state my freshman year, of me falling across the finish line freshman year in exhaustion, and then working hard and making it to state and setting a school record my junior year. And then I went home and I told my parents about this idea. And they told me that it would be boring and unrelatable, and then proceeded to list off all the many times I have failed. There was a time that I didn't put water in condensed tomato soup, and then I fed it to my brothers. Or the time I forgot a baton in a relay. Yeah, sorry about that one, Q. But the one that takes the cake is the time I hit a parked car. It was one day before my 17th birthday, so I'd almost been driving, just crash-free for 1 year. I wasn't even out of my neighborhood yet. I thought I forgot something at home, so I turned to look at my sister and asked her to check my backpack for me. Somehow, in that split second, I managed to veer off a little bit to the right. And when I turned back to look at the road, there was a parked car mere yards ahead of me. I braked, but it was too late. I was the idiot that hit a parked car. And to make matters worse, my last name is Carr. So what did my friends call me? Bailey No Car. Yeah, that was a pretty fun few weeks. So this story, it doesn't really have a great message, but it is funny. And I guess it shows that we all make mistakes, and it feels a little better to laugh about them. And with that, I'd like to introduce our next valedictorian, Matthew Kump.
Thank you, Bailey. Hello, I'm Matthew, and today I've prepared a poem for you all about a failure of mine. It was an ordinary day. I pulled into Circle K. I needed to fill up my car and go buy a Rockstar. Little did I know how the rest of my day would go. I returned to my car and sat down. Not a single person around. I drove away from the pump and heard a terrible thump. So, in life, you have to balance many things and often lose sight of what is important. But what was important in this case was taking the gas pump out of my car before I drove away. And that's all. Anyways, I'd now like to introduce Joseph Cook.
All right, I'm just going to have to go from memory.
Yep.
2 years ago, I remember sitting here in this room watching my older brother graduate. As all the valedictorians were giving their speeches, my grandma leaned over to me and said, "Joe, in 2 years, that's going to be you standing up there talking." Now, my hearing might last me 2 more years, but I'm going to learn sign language so I can understand you anyway. I also remember 2 years ago, sophomore me quaking in my boots, terrified of even the concept of standing in front of the entire room giving a speech. Thankfully, I forgot to turn in a lab and secured my first A-, dropping my GPA a whopping 0.01 points. and tragically snatching the title of valedictorian, along with all the stress and headache that comes with it. Now, you might be thinking that losing my 4.0 is my failure, but all things considered, I see this as an absolute win. I don't have to go to all the meetings, I don't have to speak at graduation, I don't have to be stressed about getting another A-, and I still got into my preferred college with my preferred major, even though my GPA was a meager 3.99. Everything worked out perfectly until a couple weeks ago when they told me I would be speaking at graduation anyway. So yeah, I failed at getting out of doing this. I'd now like to introduce our next speaker, Aubrey Scott.
Okay. There will be a time where everyone fails, but in reality, failure is underappreciated and misrepresented. Failure, according to Google at least, is a lack of success. But to me, and hopefully to others, failure isn't about losing or falling through. It is a push to success. Once you have learned to use failure to motivate yourself and to use it as your inspiration, you can truly begin to live and succeed. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure and on our frustrations. A downhill journey of failure for me involves solo ensemble, which is a classical music competition. Freshman year started really strong. I placed first in districts and received an honorable mention at state. The next year, I went in and expected nothing less from the previous year, as I had only improved since then. That year, I learned that success can give you a false image of hope. I was disqualified from the competition. I had tried for weeks to get back in, but to no avail. It was the first time I felt like I had truly failed. I had let those who supported me down. But as people say, we learn from our failures, not from our successes. So my junior year, I tried again. My performance was great and everything was fine. At least, I thought it was. I see the results and my name is up there. Second place. Not bad, but seeing the first place winner once again only brought in the feeling of failure. In a classical singing competition for sopranos, which is typically a higher female voice, a male had placed first. I felt like I had disappointed all those around me. I thought, if I had just worked harder, maybe I would have won. With this still in mind, I tried again this year, not in one, but in 3 different categories. I was sure I had to find success somewhere. I did, to some extent. I placed 3rd in every single category. For me, there was no real happy ending to this story, instead a lesson to be taught. I learned about dedication and hope. I learned it is an important trait to have, even if it never really works out. And well, if you learn from defeat, you haven't really lost. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Ashley Worrell.
Hello, I'm Ashley Worrell, and I would especially like to thank my parents and my family for all of their love and encouragement that they have given me for the past 4 years. They are such a blessing to me. I would also like to thank all of my teachers for all of the support they have given me. 2 summers ago, I went on a girls' camping trip with some friends. The whole weekend was going great until on our way back, the front left wheel of the van completely came off, and the bolts were sheared off so we couldn't replace the wheel. We were in the middle of nowhere with no cell service. We ended up finding a lodge that had a landline so we could call the insurance company and get a tow truck. We ended up not getting back home until 4 a.m. when we originally were supposed to be back by 7 p.m., and I had to lifeguard that day. Sometimes things in life surprise us and throw us off track, but faith, friends, and family help us through the unexpected. We are all about to enter the next adventure of our lives, but as I have learned, even when the wheels fall off, it's going to be okay. I would not be up here today if it wasn't for my faith. Through it all, God has helped me through all the stresses and craziness of life. The source of my strength can be summed up by the Bible verse, John 3:16. Now I would like to welcome Sarah McKenna.
The first thing I would like to say is sorry to all the parents whose children are involved in this story. About 2 years ago, our Richland High School varsity volleyball team decided to take a little trip to good old Benton City. For some reason, we thought it'd be a great idea to rope swing off the 50-foot tree, followed by a float down the beautiful Yakima River. For probably the only time we used our brains that day, we decided to park some cars at the beginning of our float and to park my car just a few miles down the river at where we would end our float. To our surprise, those few miles took about 4 hours to float. After multiple panic attacks in the 50-foot tree, one iPhone dropped in the river, and plenty more, we made it to the end of our adventurous float only to realize that I had forgotten my key in someone's car at the beginning of the float. Abandoned in Benton City, all in swimsuits and filled with rage, it took approximately 13 teenage brains to agree on the clever idea to hop in the back of a random truck to get to our initial starting point to retrieve the key that I forgot. It only took us about 5 minutes of driving to realize that some people in Benton City are unaware of the concept of a speed limit. Shortly after collapsing to the truck bed, after a fellow Benton City pedestrian casually yelled, "Cops, get down!" we made it to the road that would lead us to our destination. For those who don't know the road to the rope swing, it is a very sketchy road. Glancing at the posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour, we proceeded to gaze into each other's eyes with fear and desperation due to the fact that the driver was in reality driving more than double the speed limit. As my teammates were on the verge of tears and confiding in one another, I slowly gazed across the beautiful plains in Benton City, and I accepted it. This was it. I was going to die. Soaking in what I thought was my last few breaths of sweet Benton City air, I thought to myself, only if I hadn't forgotten the key. I would like to introduce Matthew Balint.
Thank you, Sarah. When we were asked to come up with a speech about failure, I started thinking about all the times not only I failed, but the times when other people have failed me. One memory that stood out to me was when my 6th grade honors math teacher failed to believe in me. A few weeks into school, she pulled me aside during class one day and said to me, "Matt, I'm not sure this is a right math class for you. I think you should consider switching into an easier math class." She didn't think I was smart enough to be in honors math. While standing before you tonight as a valedictorian, clearly I proved her wrong. My point in telling you this story isn't to call out or publicly shame that teacher I had 6 years ago. No, my point in telling you this story is that only you define who you are, not other people. Thank you. Now, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce the one and only Tristan Allgaier.
Gracias, Matt. So here it is. My philosophy is basically this. And this is something that I live by. And I always have. And I always will. Don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where, or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever. Sometimes I'll just start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. It's like an improv conversation, an improvisation. And I think life is like an improvisation, and failure is finding your sentence along the way. I'd like to introduce Caleb Hunt.
Thank you, Tristan. I will always remember the 4 months we shared in sophomore AP World. Truly a good time. As a wise female poet once said, "I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days." That woman, of course, is Kesha, formerly known as $. For me, these good old days was homecoming of junior year. I had but one goal in mind: have a homecoming so good, nay, so legendary, future generations would tell tales of it. Starting with one of my closest friends as my date and group members as good as gold, the night was destined for greatness. And I bet my group mates right now in the audience are all giggling with glee because, ooh, I'm getting referenced in a valedictorian talk. Well, let me tell you, fellas, I didn't work for 4 long, cruel years just to tell you how cool you are, okay? Hold on, get ready. Okay, returning to homecoming of yesteryear. My responsibility was the after party. And now I think, honestly, there's only one idea that is so majestical that could line up with such a legendary night. And I think we all might be thinking it. So I want us to all say it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, rat racing. Did no one else say it? Because even though I said you might. Okay. Well, I hope you can see what a great idea it would be. You run down to the pet store, you get some feeder mice, you run them around for a bit, bet some Monopoly money on them, and boom, you have a speech so good, or an after party so good, it can be the valedictorian speech. Unfortunately, some group members thought it was quote unquote immoral to use the rats to exploit the rats for our entertainment, whatever that's supposed to mean. So to make a long story short, we just didn't do it, which, it's not like I'm angry or mad or holding a grudge against them or anything. I know who you are, just want to remember that. Anyway, I believe there's supposed to be a moral to this story, but I don't really know. I just want to tell you that's a flippin' sweet idea to run a rat race for your after party. Just if anyone else wants to use that. Seems pretty cool. No, okay, actually, there is a moral. And I want the graduates to hear this, and all young people in general. In every era, in every culture, the younger generation always makes new ideas. They make new thoughts, they have new movements, and in turn, the old standards have to fight to keep their place and have to fight to put down the new ideas. I'm not saying that every new idea is good, and I'm not saying that we don't have a lot to learn, but please remember that you are unique. You are growing up in a time that your parents and your teachers and your politicians have not. Be wise in how and when you speak your mind, but please always speak it. Next up, we'll be hearing from Nelson Biazovich.
Once upon a time, there was an 18-year-old boy who really wanted a car. After a month of sweat, hard work, and elbow grease, he finally finished repairs on the 1989 Ford Bronco so he could drive it to school. The car wasn't fancy, but it was his. Within the first week of driving the Bronco, to his dismay, he realized that he had been driving for 3 full days with the emergency brake on. There was no smoke or fire, thank goodness, but there was a damaged ego and several $100s worth of brake repairs. You might be thinking to yourself, I don't know anyone who would drive with the e-brake on for 3 full days. Well, this was my story, and now you do. I know that you can't relate everything in life to a car, but my Bronco's been an excellent teacher for a lot of things. For example, I thought I understood how to use the old-fashioned emergency brake, but clearly I did not. All I needed to do was ask more questions, and it would have saved myself a lot of grief. I was embarrassed to admit that I really didn't get how to use the old e-brake, but I learned that being embarrassed is a waste of time and asking is simple. After all the repairs, I know how to use the braking system, and I know that in the future, I will not let a little pride burn out my future travels. By the way, my Bronco drives and brakes great now. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Go Bombers. Yeah. And I'd like to introduce Noah Hebden.
Thank you, Nelson. My friends, on a day marked so deeply by success, I too wish to share an example of pure failure. By this, I hope to instill a greater appreciation for where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. In the summer of 2017, I set out with the group to summit one of Washington's most well-known volcanoes, Mount Adams. Days were spent coordinating with leaders, checking gear, and obtaining necessary permits before our time came. The first miles of the trek were promising, each person optimistic in our probability of success. With time, however, distances between teammates along the trail increased to merit concern. In truth, we were separated. Some summited, others did not, but the greater dangers arose on the descent. A small group, orphaned by our leaders, attempted to return to our base through sheer recollection. At the top, they placed their faith in the wrong direction, leading them to a side of the mountain completely foreign. Their path, if followed, would lead them 100 miles from where they hoped to be. Unaware of this, they pressed forward, and hours after sunset, I sat on a rock signaling search parties with my headlamp, deeply concerned for the welfare of those who had been lost. That night, I fell asleep in my tent alone, expecting my friends to be at the bottom of a crevasse. It was only in the morning that an ascending group of hikers notified us that our teammates corrected their course after my father had found them, returning them to the parking lot before everyone else. My friends, we now stand at the summit of a great mountain, our hopes and aspirations bright as the sun I saw that morning. As we descend into the rest of our lives, I hope we realize the consequences of our smallest actions. As with the mountain, 1 inch of variation at the summit can lead us to a destination 100 miles from where we hope to be in the future. A lifetime from now, when we are at the base of the mountain of our lives, I hope we will all look back to when we stood at the summit and see how far we've come, standing exactly where we'd hoped we stand all those years ago. It has been a privilege to be among you all, and now I'd like to turn the time over to Sandy Montgomery. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate you all on surviving 14 speeches. Now, as the 15th, I have the honor of closing our portion of the ceremony. We all know that we did not arrive here solely by our own strength and merit. The people who have helped us navigate through life deserve recognition too. First, we would all like to thank our parents who have pushed us to succeed despite our failures and will continue to support us unconditionally. They helped us with our math homework when calculus became too overwhelming and brought us to visit colleges we can't afford. They watched us grow from diapers to diplomas. Without them, we'd not be graduating today, and without them, we wouldn't be able to sign loans for colleges. We want to thank our teachers for preparing us for our next venture in life, whether that be college, military, or work. I really want to thank those who treat their job as much more than a paycheck and go out of their way to create a relationship with their students. I know that those teachers make a huge difference, especially in a time where anxiety and depression plague students at all ages. We'd also like to thank the superintendent and the school board for making this evening possible. On a lighter note, I want to thank the real reason why we are all here. SparkNotes, Wikipedia, Quizlet, Slater, and Google. But seriously, I can't wait to start the next chapter of my life, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. Before we can really move on with our lives and escape this windy city once and for all, we need to remember our experiences here. Somehow, we experienced 2 Snowmageddons and lived to tell the tale. Our class survived being the guinea pig of every new standardized test and textbook. And this year, we complained our way all the way through bomber time and Chromebooks. So here's to more unforgettable experiences and realized dreams in the coming years. Congratulations, graduates of 2019, and remember, go Bombers. And now, I would like to introduce our principal at Richland High School, Mr. Tim Prano.
I've been to a lot of high school graduations here, and that had to be the best valedictorian speech that we've heard. Let's give them a big round of applause. Richland High School has a long-standing tradition of serving its community. When these graduates were freshmen, this amazing staff sitting on the side of them took on the motto of love, serve, and care. I'm going to need a little bit of assistance in this next portion of the ceremony. To assist me will be a staff member that has worked tirelessly for the students and staff at Richland High School for the last 48 years. Please join me in welcoming my assistant principal, my high school counselor, but more importantly, my friend, Vicki Bricker. You're going to help me out up here.
Oh, good. What do I have to do?
You got to accept this standing ovation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so you read this page.
What? I'm not reading. I'm not reading it. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm really going to read this?
We kind of put Miss Bricker on the spot here. So when we talk about serving our community, this group of students led the other 1,500 underclassmen in a number of events this year. Ms. Bricker's going to share that with you.
Please take a look at the posters hanging from the press box up here. Where are they?
It's okay.
Our students raised over $5,000 for Pennies for Patients, over $5,000 for diabetes, provided 74 kids a Christmas through 7 days of giving. They gave 204 units of blood donated to the Red Cross. This is the most units donated by one organization in Eastern Washington and Eastern Oregon and Alaska. And they finally, 150 students volunteered for the Lamb Weston Richland School District Field Day for our special needs students. So we have great kids. Oh God, you shouldn't have done that. I love you.
Thank you. And one thing off that list is they also raised and donated 2.1 tons of food for the Richland Food Bank. Great job, students. Next, we're going to recognize students that will be dedicating the next few years to the United States Armed Forces. The experience these 21 young men and women will shape you for many years to come. You will learn how to react quickly during high stress and life and death situations, and rely on your training to help people through traumatic events. And there will be many opportunities to further your education. Bryce Weaver, Coast Guard, reports August 6, 2019, Cape May, New Jersey. Joseph Catone, U.S. Marine Corps, July 29, 2019, Camp Pendleton, San Diego. Trenton Brown, U.S. Marine Corps, June 24, 2019, Camp Pendleton, San Diego. Sydney Kazmarzik, Army, July 1st, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Destin Montgomery, Army, August 5th, Fort Benning, Georgia. Colby Malott, U.S. Marine Corps, June 10th, Camp Pendleton, San Diego. Courtney Starossi, Air Force, San Antonio, Texas. Caillou Hedquist, Army, July 1st, New Mexico. Summer Beasley, Army, South Carolina. Salvador Mendoza, U.S. Marine Corps, June 24th, 2019, Camp Pendleton, San Diego. McKay Carnot, Army, ROTC, fall of 2019. Chase Hoover, U.S. Marine Corps, August 2019. Tyler Birchenough, U.S. Marine Corps, July 24th, Great Lakes, Illinois. Mateo Camacho, Navy, August 27th, Great Lakes, Illinois. Michaela Mann, Army, August 2019. Mackenzie Ostrowski, Air Force, fall of 2019, San Antonio, Texas. Liam Powers, Air Force, fall of 2019. Brody Spalding, Navy, Chicago, Illinois, September 2019. Brian Dean, Air Force, fall 2019. Athena Hildy, Air Force, fall 2019. And Alexander Yaley, fall 2019. Let's give these future soldiers a big round of applause here. You're getting closer. I want you to know that I'm very proud of each and every one of you, and that you've imprinted a special place in my heart and this incredible staff that's worked with you each day. It was very apparent today as the staff formed that tunnel like they did when you were freshmen and they clapped you out of Richland High School gymnasium. The emotions were flowing both from the students and the staff. It was an incredible scene. To the parents and guardians here celebrating with us, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for trusting us with your children in the Richland School District for the last 12 years. You have so much to be proud of these kids. And let's give them one more round of applause before we start the next portion. Now please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Rick Schulte.
On behalf of the Richland School District Board of Directors, I hereby certify that these students have met the graduation requirements of the State of Washington and the Richland School District, and they are now eligible to receive the diploma of Richland High School. I now present to you the graduates of the Richland High School class of 2019.
Is yours on? Mine's cool. I mean, I could still, oh yeah, mine's on.
we got going on down there? Me? Acerino, right? Acerino? Acerino. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Jordan Scott Acerno.
Estrella Yasmin Almada.
Abdullah Al Salehi.
Tell him to come on. Come on. Tristan Joshua Allgaier.
Mark John Almond.
Divine Ray Amaya.
Alicia Marie Anderson.
Noelle Catherine Anderson.
Tiffany Bell Anderson.
That's you, Zachary.
Zachary James Bagley.
Alexa Marie Bonmiller.
Angel Emmanuel Balderas.
Matthew Balint.
Tamir Lilani Renee Banks.
Jackson Emmett Barnes.
Sharon Roseanne Bartlett.
Jordan Marie Bowder.
Summer Catherine Savannah Beasley.
Try that. I guess they're way behind. Now try that again.
Summer Catherine Savannah Beasley.
Okay. Zachary Wayne Beaver.
Henry Becker.
Aurora Marie Berger.
He's ready. Yeah.
Tyler James Birchenow.
Rebecca Lynn Bishop.
Nelson Robert Biazovich.
Emily Marie Bloom.
Jackson Dennis Bowles.
Adriana Yasmin Bonner.
Tiffany Lynn Bowers.
Libby Maeve Bowles.
Brandon James Bradshaw.
Abigail Victoria Brassfield.
Kinsey Monique Coyne Brockman.
Trenton Zane Brown.
Kennedy Jane Bruce.
Mackenzie Lynn Budge.
Give me some. He lost his tassel. Okay.
Connor Scott Budzik.
Wait, what happened? Wait. What happened here? Hayden. What happened? Go Hayden.
Hayden A. Beekler.
Jacob Allen Bullock.
Damon Gabriel Burbank.
Sid Andrew Bertner.
Nathan Reynolds Cahoon.
Mateo Tomas Camacho.
Tatiana Marie Cantu.
Zahid Clemente Cardenas.
Hayden James Carey.
McKay James Carnot.
Bailey Alexandra Carr.
Kiara Cara.
Morgan Renee Castle.
Joseph Michael Catone.
Zach Austin Champion.
Riley Marshall Channel.
Megan Elizabeth Chase.
Jonas Call Childers.
Chris Byung-ho Choi. Close.
Jerry Chu.
Wendy Cisneros.
Paige Mackenzie Clark.
Timothy Josiah Clash.
Noah Donovan Clift.
Oh, he's coming. Jamin William Conley.
Joseph Thomas Cook.
Abraham Cordova.
Kaya Don Cottrell.
Terrell David Crudup.
Wyatt Joseph Paul Daniel.
Olivia Faith Daniels.
Andrew Joseph Daves.
Lyric Sky Davis.
Eric Alexander Davison.
Brian Robert Dean.
Sarah Alice DeGraff.
Micaiah Xander Denny.
Jacob Angel Diaz.
Lauren Rose Dial.
Devin J. Dittmer.
Kizzy Artina Dodge.
Mackenzie Lynn Dotson.
Brady Christian Donaldson.
Samantha Leanne Defoe.
Anapriya Dulashand.
Irene Darlene Duran.
Lexus Michelle Edwards.
Jennifer Lynn Ellsbury.
Joshua Mateus Ingalls.
Elias J. Espinoza.
Jill Lee Essency.
Gray Erickson Evans.
Andrew Joseph Fairchild.
Kaya May Fairchild.
Brian Chen Fang.
Gwendolyn Faith Farrar.
Faith Rose Fauché.
Mergam Ferrati.
Caleb Allen Field.
Jamie Lynn Fields.
Braden Allen Fillmore.
Sarah Justina Desiree Love Finch.
Simon Fisenko.
Megan Nicole Fisher.
Quincy Lynn Fisher.
Carly Ann Fleming.
Joshua Dean Fauner.
Haley Adele Forsyth.
Kendra May Frank.
Aaliyah Larae Frosto.
Drew Allen Fulton.
Matthew Connor Furby.
Nicole Ray Gall.
Andrea Elizabeth Galvan.
Kaylee Renee Gagnon.
Jeremiah M. Garcia.
Emily Celise Garza.
Connor Michael Gibbon.
Broderick Charles Gill.
Piper Jean Gill.
Caden Scott Glaze.
Nathan William Goins.
Zachary Allen Graves.
Reagan Elizabeth Grady.
Jasmine Nicole Gray.
Logan C. Cherry.
Just a second. Mackenzie Marie Graybill. Sorry,
Leah Viktorovna Grinchuk.
Dahanye Najee Geis.
Daniel L. Gulchuk.
Christian Jacob Hagedorn.
Bethany Faith Hall.
Daniel Stephen Halter.
Mackenzie Teresa Hamilton.
Dylan Ann Hammond.
Jared Timothy Hancock.
Caitlin Nicole Hansen.
Kevin John Harding.
Cade Cameron Harrison.
Chloe Lynn Hawkins.
Joseph Dean Hawkins.
Sydney Ann Hay.
Bailey Ann Hayes.
Alexander Gabriel Haney.
Noah Dane Hebden.
Katarina Jong Heck.
Caillou Isaac Hedquist.
Kayla Nicole Helton Brown.
Logan Conrad Hendel.
Raylee K. Hendricks.
Jacob Andrew Henley.
Zachary Leon Henneman.
Todd Dwayne Henry.
Mario Hernandez.
Sativa Quelu Hernandez.
Samantha Nicole Herrick.
Nathan Aaron Higley.
Athena Ray Hildy.
Ariana Shea Hipke.
Aubrey Rose Hirsch.
Kevin Matthew Hitt.
Matthew Leisure Akio Hoffman.
Connor James Hofstad.
Lydia Ray Holloway.
Alexandra Deanne Hudson.
Caleb John Hunt.
Calla Dion Hunt.
Cole Ryan Hunter.
Ashley Rose Hurst Starkle.
Morgan Eric Christopher Husted.
Alexander B. Urchata.
Corianne Charlotte Jackson.
Mitchell Ryan Jackson.
Hikmeta Yahafendich.
Sydney Anne-Marie Jenkins.
Riley Jeffrey Johansson.
Broden Joseph Johnson.
Jonathan Kirk Johnson.
Julia Grace Johnson.
Taylor James Johnson.
Joshua Nathan Julk.
Sydney Gabrielle Kazmarzik.
Eric Richard Katinger.
Elena Kergard.
Phoenix Alexander Keith.
Suzanne Jeanette Killian.
Major Alexander Kimbrough.
Nonaka Koga.
Erica Lynn Cogan.
Katarina Rose Kozaliski.
Megan Jean Kraus.
Jacob Wayne Kreutz.
Brian Joseph Kriskovich.
Matthew Stewart Kump.
Elena Grace Lacey.
McKenna Jade Lakey.
Nicole Marie Ladicio.
Michael Alexander Lemos.
Marissa Alexandra Lewis.
Kiara Raniel Litka.
Graceanna Renee Litke.
Mariah Nicole Longwell.
Tyler A. Lopez.
Tyler John Mackey.
Michaela Nicole Mann.
Christopher Jacob Mannon.
Joran Deinbel Marcaz.
Robert P. Marshall.
Kylie Avery Martinez.
Tanak Impala Martinez.
I'm gonna try. Yuri Martushachev. Okay.
Victoria Rose Matiota.
Madeline Rose Mawia.
Kataya J. Mayorga.
Stevie Nicole McCady.
Dakota Kenton McAllister.
Ryan James McClelland.
Kennedy Monique McClure.
Lauren McIntyre.
Haley Marie McKay.
Maisie Lynn McKellop.
Sarah Ann McKenna.
Ryan Matthew McKinley.
Colby William Malott.
Jesus Miguel Mendez Sanders.
Haley McKenna Mendoza.
Salvador Mendoza.
Vanessa Mendoza.
Kylie Jocelyn Merkley.
Haley Morgan Miller.
Kelly Irene Miller.
Leonardo Ray Miller.
Noah David Miller.
Chloe Lynn Mills.
Natavia. Jose Natavia Mills.
Nathan Gregory Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, right. Jorge Ventura Guavalte Misquil. I tried.
Destin Orion Montgomery.
Sandra K. Montgomery.
Lauren Alexandria Moore.
Riley C. Moore.
Genesis Morales.
Genesis Morales Yepes.
Zoe Melody Joe Maury.
Gia Angelina Muir.
Jordan James Muller.
Jasmine Sarai Mungia.
Shital Nand.
Navjot Kaur.
Ashley Kasupanan Nelson.
Brittany Carissa Nelson.
Braxton Jean 9.
Aiden Martin Norman.
Jonah Wayne Norris.
Colton Joseph Northrop.
Carly Paige Ogburn.
Charles Jewel Folliar Orioste.
Kyle William Sandel.
Nina Ornelius Sandoval.
Cheyenne Marie Ortiz.
Destiny Alyssa Ortiz.
Lee, right? Desiree Lee Oslin.
Kyle Rodney Osbo.
Mackenzie Rose Ostrowski.
Gavin Lee Oxford.
Marie Palacios Dominguez.
Marissa Palomares.
Mansi Patel.
Jenna Elise Patterson. Jenna that way.
Madeline Rose Paulson.
Amneet Kaur Pawar.
Sydney Lee Perryman.
Marissa Victoria Fow.
Logan Alexander Phelps.
Adriana Peralta.
Lomax Fongza.
Gracie Ann Pierce.
Landon Preston Postolovich.
McKeel Spencer Plum.
Andre A. Palinko.
Mackenzie Rochelle Porman. Oh, are we missing? Okay. Cade Stephen Powell.
Vivi Prado Barreto.
Morgan Spencer Prano.
Kyle Jackson Priggy.
Hey. Jacob D. Pulsifer.
Blake Isaac Lee Purser.
Zoe Savannah Rainier.
David Austin Ramos.
Sebastian Ramos.
Nathaniel Marcus Reed.
Jordan Renee Rice.
Ryan Patrick Ricketts.
Jake Daniel Renetti.
Taylor Marie Robbins.
Connor Mackenzie Roberts.
Kirby James Robertson.
Angel Jose Robledo.
Caitlin Diane Rorig.
Marae Faith Romero.
Tori Rachel Romero.
Alexander Isaiah Rosales.
Marlon Rosales Ambrosio.
Lindsay Noel Rosenthal.
Emma Kristen Rowe.
Quincy Jack Solomon.
Destiny Julissa Salas.
Cassia Shea Salmons.
Sierra Deanne Salmons.
Gabriel Matthew Sams.
Stefan Quinton Sanders.
Cody Vincent Sanderson.
Sukh Tajbir Singh Sandhu.
Sabrina Ann Sarpolis.
Piper Sierra Sherm.
Paige Marie Schneider.
Gina Schultz.
Peyton Delane Schuldheis.
Catherine Elaine Schultz.
Jack Carl Schuster.
Christy Marie Schwager.
Alan Daniel Scott.
Aubrey Lee Scott.
Marcus Anthony Scott.
Mason Walter Scott.
Elijah Straven Shoemaker.
Bailey Renee Schulens Briggs.
Jerry.
Reese Amelia Simons.
Logan Kyle Simpson.
Elena Nicole Sinte.
Caden Matthew Slade.
Hayden John Smith.
Trinity Aaliyah Smith.
Jeffrey Stephen Schneider.
Riley Eugene Snyder.
Levi Victor Davy Soar.
Chloe Annabelle Soland.
Bailey Blue Solis.
Brianna Lynn Sorensen.
Abigail June Sorensen.
Tanya Vargas.
Brody Matthew Spalding.
Sarah Jamie Stewart.
Courtney Elizabeth Storasi.
Evan Christopher Strand.
Garrett Jackson Stroifert.
Shelby Jane Strickland.
Kyle Grant Strong.
Pierce Michael Milton Thompson.
Jeffrey Trond Tilton.
Dylan Oliver Tunn.
Valerie Irene Torres.
Peyton Noah Trevino.
Maxwell David Trim.
Oh wait, where's Brianne Mary Turner.
Mitchell Darrell Trim.
Rebecca Van Gorkum.
Ryan Joseph Utley.
Daniel Kristen Van Gorkum.
Grace Lynn Turner.
Jada Rose Van Winkle.
Maria Guadalupe Vega.
Donalisa Josari Ventura.
Garrett Meade Vicente.
Lorenzo Roy Villanueva.
Cortez Vertigan.
Riley May Volmer.
Anthony Joseph Warwick.
Bryce Tyler Weaver.
Kai April Wellsant.
Brinley Amanda Whitby.
Angela Lee White.
Kaylin Rose White.
Graham Spencer White.
Huh? Oh, I thought you said. Sorry, Raylan Marie White.
Samantha Michelle Wilson.
Kayla Jo Williamson.
Ashley Ruth Worrell.
Allison Kate Wirch.
Carly Leanne Wurs.
Michelle Lee Wurs.
Alexander Michael Yaley.
Carson Dallas Young.
Cohen, right? Cohen Sunday.
Tasia Michaela Lee Gojanola.
Chase Sebastian Hoover.
Valerie Michelle Leone. That's it?
Kyle Briggy needs to be up here.
All right. Graduates of the 2019 class of Richland High, please rise and join me in moving your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, we did it. up, please.
call, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all ever since I was young. They said I wouldn't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I have it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bags, yeah. But they didn't know me last year, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I saw my door, yeah. Everyone counting on me, drop the ball, yeah. Everything custom like I'm at the bottom, yeah, yeah. If you winning, put your lighters to the sky. How could I make sense when I got millions on my mind? Coming with it, I just put it to the side. Bought a sense of baby, they could see it in my eyes. My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
I was patient, yeah. Oh, I was patient. Now I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say congratulations. Young graduation. I pick up the rock and I ball, baby. I'm looking for someone to call, baby. But right now I got a situation. Never old being Franklin. Big rings, champagne. My life is like a ball game. But instead I'm in the trap though. Pot so big, call it Super Bowl. Super Bowl, caught up. Get in the rolls. Top flow lifestyle. Huncho and post. Malone. I got a play on my phone. You know what I'm on. Huncho Houdini is gone.
My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
And tonight is my appraisal, 'cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Ain't you ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up pieces, pieces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Friends are happy for me, or they're honeysuckle phonies. Then they celebrate my medals, or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers, while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Oh, are you ready for the sequel? Ain't you ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up pieces, pieces. so long. You're all that I see. I can't stop this feeling, no, no, it's taking over me. Feel the mercury rising, I feel your bassline bumping. Hear it in your rhythm, you got my heartbeat pumping. I can't stop it, no I can't control it. Can you feel it overloading? Overloading. Yeah. You can't stop it, no you can't control it. Can you feel it overloading? Overloading. Yeah. Know that I've been waiting for so long. You're all that I see.